Good morning and welcome to your yoga practice. Hump day already, halfway through the week, and a whole lot has already happened. So let's just take this time today to focus on two simple things. We'll focus on the breath and the movement, and that's about it. But actually, that's about all we need to do to benefit our bodies and benefit ourselves so that we'll be really ready for the rest of this day today. I'd like to focus on starting our practice on the floor for those people who have an aversion to moving around in the morning because of back injuries, tightness, soreness, inflammation. Unless your doctor has recommended otherwise, it's a good idea to move in the morning so that you create oxygen flow to the physical body and the brain. So we'll begin first by centering. Find a comfortable seat, whether that's on the floor or on a chair or even on the side of your bed. Draw your tailbone down and lift all the way up on the sternum to create a little bit of length. Let's clasp our hands together today and press the palms forward. And as you're pressing your palms forward, draw the shoulders back and down. On the next inhale, extend the arms up over the head. And as you're reaching your arms up over the head, on the exhale, release your arms down to the side. Just let the arms flow down to the side. Remember, you're only doing what your practice allows, so you don't have to overdo. Now bring the palms back to the center in a prayer position. Clasp your hands again. Press your palms forward. Inhale and lift the arms up over the head. On the exhale, extend your arms out to the side. A nice morning sun breath. Yeah, nice sunny day today. Release your arms down to the side. Now draw your shoulders up towards your ears, directly up towards the ears, and then draw the shoulders directly down away from the ears. So on the inhale, you'll draw the shoulders up, and on the exhale, you'll draw the shoulders directly down. Inhale as the shoulders come up, and exhale as you release all the way down. Now, just take a moment to place your palms down. Close your eyes down, dive inside, and just start to notice your breath. Maybe it's fast or slow, maybe it's deep or shallow, but just begin to deepen your breath. On the next exhalation, use a little abdominal strength to really release all the breath. Draw the navel in towards the spine and really let all of the breath go out. Completely empty out all of the breath. On the next inhale, just notice how the body begins to expand as you fill the body with the breath. Keep following the flow of your own breath. Each inhalation, you'll be drawing in more oxygen, more energy, more life force. Each complete exhalation, you'll be releasing any excess carbon dioxide or any other toxins that build up in your cells. Now, before you open your eyes, just take a moment to scan your physical body using your internal eye. We all have one. So just use that internal eye and scan your shoulders, your elbows, maybe your hands. Notice if there's any tightness or any openness in your body. Scan your hips and your knees, your ankles. Now just bring your palms together at the heart center. Lift your heart up into the palms and bring to mind your intention or your intent for your practice. And now nice and easy, you can open your eyes. Namaste. Let's begin our practice today first by bringing the hands over towards the right side and then just extending the legs out in front, and we'll draw the hips down towards the ankles. As you bring your hips down towards the ankles, you can come all the way back down onto the back. And as you come back down onto your back, just release your shoulders all the way down and back. On the next exhale, just notice how your shoulder blades are. See if you can adjust your shoulder blades so that they're even, and then slowly draw the knees in towards the chest. Even if you have to do one at a time, draw the knees into the chest and just relax your shoulders down again. So if you're curled up into a ball, let the shoulders drop down. Hold on underneath your knees instead of up on top of the knees, and just let the spine be straight. Let the spine be flat on the mat in a neutral position. Take a deep breath. On the next exhale, just place your left foot down so the sole of the foot is flat on the mat. Draw the right knee in towards your chest, and then draw that right knee towards your right shoulder. Take a deep breath. If that's enough for this morning, stay like that. Otherwise, extend your left leg down long. And as you're extending your left leg down long, flex through the heel and feel the calf muscle pressing down into your mat. You can even place your palm on the pelvic point and press your thigh down. Everybody breathe deeper. On the next exhalation, just use your left hand and draw that right knee over towards the left side. Try not to come all the way up on the hip. Unless you have any back discomfort, then you can roll over slightly. Otherwise, your focus is opening up the outer thigh. So try to open up the outer thigh. You can place your thumb right in that little crease between the thigh and the abdominal region and draw the hip down slightly. Reach to the crown of your head and deepen your breath one more time. On the next exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest. Place your hands underneath the knee. Inhale and extend your heel up. So as you're extending your heel up, if that doesn't feel so good, try drawing your hamstring, your tight hamstring down towards your buttocks and lifting the calf muscle up towards your inner ankle. If you have a strap at home, you can use a strap. Otherwise, you can use your hands. But if you're crunched up, try to keep your spine flat on the mat. Just take a few deep breaths. And then just start making some soft circles with the toes. So you're just making some circles and then go in the opposite direction. Just moving in the opposite direction. And then draw the knee back in towards the chest. This time when you bring the knee in towards the chest, reach through the crown of your head and draw your shoulders away from your ears. Reach through that left heel. Feel the length in the left leg. If you have the knee bent, it's fine. But if the leg is long, keep flexing through that heel. Now line up your hip and your knee. And if that's in alignment and you want to lengthen your leg, you can lengthen your leg. If that doesn't feel so good, just leave the knee bent. And we're going to start making some soft circles or some clockwise circles with the top of the knee or the top of the foot. So you're just making some small circles. Try to give yourself a little bit of support. It's early in the morning, and sometimes the knee bend actually works better to release the hips and release your low back. Now go in the opposite direction. But think about making a perfect circle, not an oval or an oblong. This is a perfect spaghetti pot, and you're just stirring the pot. On the next exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest. Let your shoulders sink back down. Reach through the crown of your head. And then on the next inhale, extend that right leg back down. So the right leg can come down. Maybe take a moment now to notice how that right side feels compared to the left. On the next exhale, bend both of your knees and draw the left knee in towards your chest. As you bring the left knee into your chest, see if you can angle that left knee towards your left shoulder. And breathe. If that feels okay, you can extend your right leg down long and flex through the heel. Notice how the calf muscles touching your mat. And if you want, you can place your hand right on the pelvic point or on the top of the thigh to create a little bit more length in your body. Reach through the top of your head. If this is bothering your low back or you're not in a neutral spine, just bend the knee again. Otherwise, you'll keep the leg long. Are you still breathing? Keep breathing. Really deep breaths. It takes about 30 seconds, sometimes up to 2 minutes, for the body and the mind to connect. So don't be in a big hurry yet. Take your hand and place the hand on the outside of the knee, and then draw the knee back in towards the middle. Draw the knee into the chest. As you bring your knee into your chest, right in the center part, you can draw that knee over towards your right side. And again, if it's bothering your back, roll over a little bit more. If you're okay on your low back, just place your thumb in that little crease between the thigh and the abdomen and draw the hip down. Reach through the top of your head and keep your pelvic bowl flat on the mat. This is really for your outer thigh or that outer thick band of muscles on the outside of the thigh. Hopefully I can hear you breathing. Now draw the knee back into the center and draw the knee into your chest. Place your hand underneath the knee, and on the next inhale, you can extend your legs straight up. So as you bring your legs straight up, instead of forcing the whole leg upward, see if you can draw your hamstring or the back of your thigh down towards your buttocks, if you can engage it that way, and lift up only on the calf muscle. So the calf muscle is lifting up. And as you're pressing through your heel, let your shoulders sink back down. Remember, you can always bend the opposite knee if you feel like there's something really holding or you're very tight. Bend that knee. Otherwise, keep breathing. Now just roll your toes, making a nice circle, as opposed to an unnice circle. Now go in the opposite direction. And if all of that's feeling okay now, you can just draw the knee back in towards your chest. And as you bring the knee in towards your chest, relax back down to the mat. Draw your shoulders back and down. Take a nice deep breath. Line up now the knee and the hip. So the knee and the hip are in perfect alignment. If it still feels okay and you want to lift the leg, you can lift the leg back up and you can be making some small circles. But early in the morning, sometimes it feels better to keep the knee bent, and then that way you can have a little bit more movement in the hip joint, because a lot of times the hips are tight in the morning. So just moving in a clockwise direction at first and breathing deeply. Remember, you're stirring the pot, or you're letting your femur bone do all the work. Your thigh bone is making that perfect circle, and then you're going to go in the opposite direction. So just moving in the opposite direction. Great way to start your day. Get a little circulation in the joints. And then on the next exhale, just draw that knee in towards your chest. And as you bring the knee in towards your chest, reach through the crown of your head and draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Inhale, and we'll lengthen that left leg down. So just lengthen both legs down now, if that's possible. And bring together your inner knees and your inner ankles and your inner thighs, so everything's together. And then on the inhale, we'll extend the arms up over the head. As you reach your arms up over your head, just cross your arms over so you're holding on to either elbow. I like to try to hold on to the knobby part of the elbow and then draw the shoulder blades down. Make sure your shoulder and your elbow are in alignment so that your arms aren't way up here or way down here, but they're in alignment. On the next exhale, just drop your elbows over towards the right side and keep your gaze at your forearms. If you're getting any discomfort in your back, bend those knees again. Inhale and come back to the center. Exhale and drop over to the opposite side. Inhale and come back to the center, and exhale and drop over to the opposite side. And then just keep following that same rhythm of your breath. Your head should be slightly moving as you keep your gaze at your forearms and you just move from side to side. Now you can stay with me or you can move into your own breathing pattern. So it doesn't really matter. I just like you to connect with your own breath. So if it's not even with mine this morning, try to stick with your own breath. Now the next time you come back to the center, whatever that is, just let your arms drop behind your head so that you can feel your armpits open slightly. So now you're still holding on at either elbow. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. And then very gently draw the small of the back down towards the tailbone. Let the belly hollow out. On the next inhale, breathe into your belly and arch your spine slightly so that if I was there, I could place my hand right underneath the arch in your back. On the exhale, you'll drop back down, draw the navel in towards the spine, and press your back rib cage into the mat. Inhale and lift up, make that arch in your spine, and on the exhale, gently press the rib cage, the back rib cage back into the mat and draw the small of the back towards the tailbone. Keep breathing until you can connect your breath with the movement. And try to keep using a lot of abdominal strength in this movement. So it's a simple pelvic tilt, but I want you to go deeper and focus on exactly what you're doing. That's what's making your yoga practice work for you. Try to stay focused on your alignment, each movement, and connecting the breath with the movement. Now come back to a neutral spine. Lift the folded arms back up. So you're just lifting your folded arms all the way back up. Extend the arms up forward and then Take a look up at your palms. Make sure your inner elbows are facing each other. Fan out your fingers really wide and then draw the shoulders back and down. Turn your palms out, and on the exhale, just release the arms down to the side so you're in the airplane arms. Exhale, bend your knees towards your chest. You had to give yourself a little help, that's fine. Drop the knees over towards the right side, and as you drop your knees over towards the right side, if your left shoulder picks up, make sure you give your knees a little support. Deepen your breath. Exhale, bring the knees back to the center. Find the middle of your mat, and then exhale and drop the knees over towards the left side. As you're dropping the knees over towards the left, if your right shoulder picks up off of the mat, just lift your knees up higher so that you can keep your spine flat on the mat, the upper spine. Take a deep breath there. Try to relax your low back. I know it's early, but keep going, keep breathing. On the next exhale, draw the knees back in towards the midline and then draw the knees into the chest. Now we'll simply roll over towards the right side and come back up into a seated position. As you come back up into your seated position, we'll just cross the legs into easy pose. Now some of you are probably still lying on your bed, so maybe it's time to get up and get on the floor. And when you come into your easy pose, maybe you have a roll underneath your buttocks. On the inhale, bring the arms up over the head. On the exhale, release the arms down in front. As you bring your arms down in front, draw your shoulders back, down, and away from your ears. Reach through the crown of your head and draw the tailbone down towards the floor. Now just simply walk your fingertips over towards the left side. Inhale and lift up on the heart center. And on the next exhale, draw your right hip down towards the floor. So if you're in an abnormal curve of your spine, try lifting up taller. Just lift up taller, it's fine. Make some space in the heart center. Focus on creating length in that right side of your spine. And then walk your fingertips back to the center. Inhale, lift up on the sternum. Now bring your arms back up over your head. Exhale and release back down. Now walk your hands over towards your right side. Inhale, lift up on the heart center. Exhale and draw that left hip back down towards the floor. If it starts picking up, draw it back down. Open up at the heart. Draw the collarbones away from each other and breathe deeply. Full breath. If you can, focus on creating a little bit more length in that left side of your spine, but try not to drop over into this posture. Keep lifted. Keep your heart leading the posture. On the next exhale, walk your hands forward. Inhale, bring the arms up over the head, and then release your arms down to the side. As you bring your arms down to the side, you can lift up on the heart center and draw your knees back down towards the floor. So as you're drawing your knees back down, see if you can get your ankles in alignment. So your ankles will be in alignment, and just keep drawing the knees down while you're lifting up the navel towards the chest. Gentle back bend. If it feels okay, you can drop your chin down and then lift your chin up towards the ceiling. And then bring the chin back down parallel with the floor. Walk your hands forward, and then we'll just come back down onto hands and knees. So as you come onto your hands and knees, just find a place where your shoulders and your elbows are in alignment. The knees and the hips are in alignment. The tops of the feet are in alignment. And then just gently draw your hips back. So as you draw your hips back, if that feels like that's as far as you can go, start walking your hands out forward. Keep walking your hands out forward. You don't have to drop all the way down to the floor. Your hips can be slightly elevated, but just keep walking your hands out as far as you can reach them. Draw your shoulder blades back, all the way back. Deepen your breath. Separate your shoulder blades. And allow the head to drop down slightly. Inhale and float your torso up. So as you float your torso up, right now, you would be in a perfect position to move into your downward facing dog. If you don't move your hands a bit, curl your toes under, inhale, and lift the hips up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, draw your heels back. Bend your right knee and then your left knee. Bend your right knee and then your left knee. And just do that a few more times. Try to bring the energy back into your strong legs where you have a little bit more strength. On the next exhale, we're just going to lunge forward. And as you lunge forward, we're going to come down onto the knees and then bring your chest and your chin towards the floor. Now draw your hands back slightly. So as you bring your hands back slightly, we're going to move right into our Sphinx pose. And then from the Sphinx pose, we'll move into up dog. So the Sphinx pose is bringing your elbows and your shoulders into alignment and pressing your palms down flat on the mat. Engage your buttocks. Rock from side to side a little bit. Press the tops of the feet down into the mat. And then engage your navel at the navel and draw that up towards the throat. If you feel it's all in your shoulders, try drawing your shoulders away from your ears and bringing the shoulders down. You can turn your head to the right, back to the center, and then over to the left. Right back to center. Draw your hands back underneath the rib cage. Next position. Inhale and start floating the torso up. You move into your up dog and then draw the hips back. And as you draw your hips back, we'll curl the toes under and we'll move right into our downward facing dog one more time. Let your heart center sink down. And now bend both of your knees and we'll bring the right foot forward. So as you bring your right foot forward, we're starting out in this low lunge position. Draw the collarbones away from each other and reach through the top of your head. Your knee and your ankles should be in alignment, and if that feels good, curl the left toe under and draw the knee back slightly so that you can let the hips sink down. Keep your gaze forward and slightly down. Now, if that all feels good, you can curl the toe under and pick the knee up off of the floor. If it doesn't feel good, just stay in the other position. Everybody's breathing deep, full breaths, full expansive breaths. No matter what position you're in, whether the knee is down or up, you're going to lift your torso up next. So you lift your torso up. And as you lift your torso up, can you inhale and bring the arms up over the head? And then bring the palms right down to the center line. On the exhale, you're just going to turn slightly towards the right or towards the bent knee. Full breath. Maybe you're up in your high lunge, maybe you're in the low lunge, whichever one is fine. And then just release the arms down and move into a full twist. So you're just going to move into a twist there. And then we'll move back towards the front. Drop your knee down. And then just bring the opposite knee back. Draw your hips back. Full breath. Inhale. Lift the torso. And this time, we'll bring the left foot forward. So when you bring your left foot forward, you can stay in your low lunge. Make sure your ankle and knee are lined up. If you need a little more room, curl the toe under and draw the knee back slightly so that you can let your hips sink down. Try not to shoot that knee over the alignment. Keep your gaze forward and slightly down. Draw the collarbones away from each other. I know these are a lot of adjustments, but we want to use this alignment to our benefit. So if you're feeling comfortable there and you want to curl the toe under, you can pop up into your high lunge position, or you can stay right where you were, whatever feels good. On the inhale, you'll float your torso up. So when you bring your torso up, no matter what position you're in, try to keep your hips facing forward. Inhale, you can bring the arms right up over your head. On the exhale, bring the palms down to the center line. As you bring your palms down to the center line, can you possibly focus on the middle of your rib cage and think about turning the middle of your rib cage towards the bent knee. Now place both arms down and move into a twist. On the exhale, you can rotate towards the front, bring your palms down, drop your right knee down if it was up, and bring the left knee back. And then this time, draw both hips back and just sway your hips from side to side. Yeah, so already you've warmed up your body and the hips are starting to warm up. So let's very gently inhale and lunge forward, this time with the elbows bent. Start lunging forward, bring your elbows in really tight. And this time on the inhale, we'll lift right up into our up dog if that feels comfortable. If you want to move into Sphinx, try your Sphinx again. Exhale and draw your hips back, curl the toes under, and we'll lift the hips all the way up. You lift your hips up, exhale and draw the hips back, separate your shoulder blades. Take a look back at your feet. You want to bend one knee and then the other, one knee and then the other. Keep drawing your heels towards the back wall. You don't have to be on the floor with your feet. The heels can be up, but just keep drawing the heels backward. Inhale, and we'll lunge slightly forward, almost like you're coming into plank. And then we'll drop the left knee down, bring the right foot forward, and then your left foot forward. And then exhale, and we'll gently fold forward. Bend both of your knees. Inhale, we'll come all the way up. Let the palms touch. And this time, very gently, press your hips forward, and we'll move into a gentle back bend. So you don't have to overdo it today. Take a deep breath. Bring the palms right down the center line, right to the heart center, and then lift your heart up into the palms. On the exhale, you can release the arms down to the side. So as you release your arms down to the side, let's roll the shoulders forward, up, back, and down. And then just clasp the hands behind you. So clasp your hands behind you, inhale and lift up on the heart center one more time. Bring your shoulder blades together. Let's focus on these upper chakras. So try to focus on that area right in the middle of your rib cage again. And breathe deeply. Manipura, it's a jewel, it's a golden jewel there, an energy center that helps us find all of our will and our courage. And then on the next exhale, just release the arms down to the side. As you bring your arms down to the side, let's bring the hands to the waist for a little stability. On the next inhale, let's bring the right leg all the way back. So as you bring your right leg back, we'll turn out towards the front. And as you turn out towards the front of your mat, just take a look down and make sure you've got at least 3.5 feet between your legs. And then let's turn the foot all the way out towards the left side. Press down on the outer edge of your back foot. Try to keep it even with the short end of your mat. And on the exhale, sink your front knee down. As you sink your front knee down, bring all of your energy directly down. Bring your arms together, cross the forearms over. And on the inhale, we'll extend the arms out. And as you reach your arms out, you can turn and look out towards the horizon. Deepen your breath. On the next exhale, just release both arms down. Turn the feet forward. And then turn your right foot out at about a 90-degree angle. The left foot can stay even with the short end of your mat. Exhale and sink the front knee down. So instead of lunging forward in your posture, try to come back so that you're drawing the torso down towards the floor, but you're lifting the crown of your head up towards your ceiling. Cross your arms in front. Inhale and make a whole lot of space around yourself. Got to protect ourselves by at least 6 feet. So make a lot of room around yourself and then turn and look out towards the horizon. And as you're looking out towards the horizon, try to bring to mind your intention one more time. Deepen your breath. On the exhale, release the arms back down. And then let's turn towards the front. So as you turn towards the front, we'll move right into a gentle twist. So I'd like you to have your toes facing slightly inward, about a 45-degree angle, and press down into the outer edges of your feet. Now bend your knees a little bit, draw your hips back. You don't have to bend your knees deeply unless it's difficult for you to fold forward. If you just want to have a micro bend in the knees, and then draw your hips back, and then keep reaching through the crown of your head until you can get your torso even with the floor. So you want to try to be in a halfway forward fold. You don't have to go all the way down. And then when you're in that halfway forward fold, it's a great place to move into a twist. So just bring your right hand down in front. If you have a block or something and it reaches, you can use that. And then slowly, you're going to bring the left arm up. And as you bring your left arm up, try to think about stacking your shoulders so that you have a long line then between your shoulders and you're reaching up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, release the arm back down, and then we'll just go to the opposite side. So my arms are a little bit longer, so I have my fist on the floor, and sometimes you can lift up higher if you want to, if you use a block, but just try to keep the spine straight, and then you can bring the top arm up, take a deep breath, try to stack your shoulders if you can, moving into this gentle twist. On the exhale, bring the arm back down. Okay. So if you can stay focused, let's do that a few more times, right? Some of you are wanting to move more. So go ahead and move a little bit more. Some of you may feel today like you don't really want to move that fast. You want to focus on what muscles are engaging, and you're really focused on keeping your spine safe, then you probably want to slow it down. And then after just one more round, let's go one more round. On the exhale, you can bend your knees slightly and then draw your hips down as you roll up slowly. So roll all the way up slowly. I always feel like the ape man. And then roll your shoulders down and back. So as you bring your shoulders down and back, now we've moved into a squat or kind of a goddess pose. So just move from side to side. Now what's going to make this goddess pose is your toes were turned in, you'll turn your toes out. So now the toes are turned out, you're still pressing into the outer edge of your feet. On the exhale, if it's comfortable, squat all the way down. You'll drop your hips down. If it doesn't feel so good, just stay up high. And then you can leave your hands there and try moving side to side one more time. Now inhale, lift the arms up over your head. Reach through your fingertips and draw your tailbone down. Exhale and draw the elbows down. So you'll bring your elbows down. Now while you're in your goddess pose, your god or your goddess pose, try to bring the energy upward. Try to keep your spine long. And if you're folding forward in this pose, try to lift your knees up a little bit higher so you can lengthen your spine. Okay, you don't have to drop the hips all the way down if that doesn't feel good. But as you're breathing, your focus is on the area right in between your eyebrows. These squats are always good for your immune system, so let's rock these squats, okay? Inhale and float your torso up. As you float your torso all the way up, on the exhale, release the arms all the way down. As you release the arms down slowly, you'll roll your shoulders down and back. Now just step your feet together, and as you bring your feet together, we'll come right to the top of the mat. As you come to the top of your mat, bring your hands to your waist. And on the next exhale, bend the knees slightly, draw the hips back, and start folding forward. So as you're folding forward this time, see if you can bring a little bit more of the weight into the balls of the feet. So wherever your forward fold is, it doesn't really matter. Stay in the half forward fold, okay? So stay in the half forward fold long enough to draw your hips back and lengthen through your legs the way you did when you were on the floor. So draw your calf muscles down towards your inner ankles and lift up on your hamstrings and see if that gives you a little bit more room. Now you can bring your hands down towards the floor, bend your knees again, inhale, and we'll bring the right leg all the way back. As you bring your right leg back, if you need to drop the knee down, you can drop the knee down. Let the top of the foot be flat on the mat. Draw the shoulders away from each other. Deep breath in. Curl the toe under and pop the knee up off of the floor. As you bring your knee up off of the floor, we're just going to turn the back foot out so that the outer edge of the back foot is now pressing down. And guess what? You're already in your side angle pose. I love this. Now you can bring your elbow up if you like, if you want to get a little bit more support in your posture, or people that moved easily into it, maybe they want to keep the arm down or keep the arm in front, but just open up the heart. So try to open up the heart center. Full breath. And if that feels good, drop the top arm up and over, and then just reach towards that space where the ceiling and the wall meet. Full breath. You're feeling like you want to move into a bind today? I don't like moving into binds, only in yoga. You can drop the arm back behind you and reach through your front arm and then open up at the heart. Remember not to overdo any posture though. So when you're ready, whatever posture you happen to be in right now, exhale and drop your hips down. We'll come back down towards the floor. And then bring your left leg back. As you bring your left leg back, you can draw your hips back and move right into your Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Deepen your breath. On the inhale, lunge forward. And as you lunge forward, this time you'll bring the right knee forward, right? So your right knee comes forward, your right foot is flat on the floor, and then you drop the left knee down. Okay. Once again, find your alignment first. Try not to run through the postures, but breathe through them. Draw the collarbones away from each other. If you want to, you can pop up off of the knee. Deepen your breath. Now I'm just going to switch sides so you can see, but what I'd like you to do is open up the hip again. So you're going to open up the hip and press the outer edge of the foot down. And then if all of that feels comfortable, you'll open up at the heart, open up at the heart. If that's difficult, you can just bring your arm up onto the thigh because we're moving into our side angle pose. Full breath. Now, if all of that feels okay, whatever position you're in, maybe you still have your arm down, maybe you have your arm on your thigh. We'll inhale and reach the arm up towards the space where the ceiling and the wall meet. So just depending on how much you can sink your hips at this point, try to keep your knee from jetting forward. Don't do that. Keep the knee and the ankle lined up. Everybody breathing deep. Use your back foot like an anchor, like it's an anchor, holding the ship still, keeping it steady. And then if you want to move into a bind, feel free to move into the bind, drop the top arm back and behind you, reach your front arm through, and then open up at the heart. If you can look up at the ceiling, that's great. If you're rolling way over towards the floor, go back to the other posture. Everybody breathing deep, full breaths. And then on the exhale, you can bring the arm down. Now you'll bring the right foot back, exhale, and move right back into your downward facing dog. Bend both of your knees this time. Bring the chest closer to your thighs, and then draw your heels back. On the next inhale, we'll lunge forward and we'll move right into our plank pose. Oh, here we are. We're in plank again. So when you come into your plank pose, make sure that you're pressing through your heels and you're lifting up through your inner arms. So press on your thumbs and your index fingers to keep the body in the plank pose. Deepen your breath. And if all of that feels okay, we'll move right into the side plank pose. So open up at the hips. And if you want to work on your arms or your upper body, then just use your foot for support and just focus on the upper body. If you want to, you can bring the arm up. And then on the exhale, if you're in the opposite position, you would be placing both heels together and lifting up at the hip and then lifting up the arm. So try to feel that energy in your heart center and front body. Breathing deep. On the exhale, you can release the arm down. And then bend both of your knees and draw the hips back. Oh, bring your hips back, just wave your hips from side to side. On the inhale, float your hips back up. And you should be in perfect alignment now. So curl your toes under. Inhale, lift up into your downward facing dog. And then inhale and lunge forward so you can come back into plank. So on this side, draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. And then you'll drop the foot open to the side and turn out to the side. And as you turn out to the side, try to make sure that your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist are all in alignment. And then from there, if you want more support and you just want to use your arms, you can bring your foot forward and lift the arm up. Otherwise, you can bring the opposite leg back so that you're ankle to ankle and open up at the heart. Full breath. Side plank. Hallelujah. Happy hump day. Bring your left arm down and then drop down onto the knees and draw the hips back. So as you draw your hips back, just wave from side to side. And on the inhale now, we'll lunge forward. Bring the elbows in really close to the body. Come down chin and chest towards the floor. And then inhale, and we'll float right back up into our up dog. Yeah. So that should feel a lot better by now. On the exhale, draw both of your hips back. And as you bring your hips back, we'll float the torso up. As you bring your torso up, draw the shoulders down and back. And then let's extend the legs out long. So as you're bringing your legs out long and out in front, just separate your legs so you have enough room in between the feet. Inhale and lift all the way up on the sternum. Yeah. Roll your shoulders back and down. And just take a moment to observe. Now press through your heels and fan out your toes. And as you're fanning out your toes, notice how the median or the middle part of your calf is pressing into the mat. Press that into the mat. Walk your hands back behind you. Turn your palms out and away from you. And then on the inhale, lift up on the sternum. So you're just moving into a gentle back bend, one more gentle back bend. And then on the exhale, we'll start hinging forward. So as you begin hinging forward, remember, this is where you want to get the movement from the hips when you're moving into these forward folds. So try not to slunch over or hunch over, but try to keep the tailbone drawing down while you're lifting up on the sternum. And you can accomplish that even more by externally rotating the thighs a little bit. Inhale and lift up on the heart. So instead of focusing on your fingertips moving forward in this posture, let's bring the arms straight up. So when you bring your arms straight up, can you allow for the heart center or the chest to fold forward just a little bit, just about as far as you want to go this morning. You don't have to go too far. If you dropped right down, that's okay though. But try not to hyperextend your muscles either. Now from here, can you place your hands down onto the legs? And as you place your hands down onto the legs, if you can, keep drawing the thigh bones and the hamstrings back into your into the pelvic bowl. So if you're drawing the bones and the muscles back into the pelvic bowl, it'll give you a little bit more range of motion for you to release down and forward. And just try to keep that in mind. The same dynamic we used all through the class was drawing the hamstrings back as we drew the calf muscles towards the ankles. So just take a few breaths here. If it's hurting your low back, you can always bend your knees. And if you're bending your knees, also it allows you to drop your heart center down. Everybody's breathing deep, moving into whatever posture feels right now. And then wherever you are, whatever position you're in, on the next inhale, just bring your right hand over towards the left and turn out towards the left. So wherever you are is fine. We're just going to move into another twist, gentle twist. Think about your navel in moving towards your inner thigh, and just let that whole right side of your spine get really long. And then walk your hands back into the center again. And as you come back to the center, we'll walk our hands over towards the opposite side. And still leading with the heart. Try to keep leading with your heart. And then if it's possible, focus on your navel turning towards your inner thigh as we move into this twist. Feel the whole left side of your spine getting a little bit longer. Give yourself the benefit of the breath this morning. May feel different on one side compared to the other. Now just walk the hands back towards the center. As you bring your hands back towards the center, roll yourself up slowly, carefully. Draw the knees in towards the chest. You can bend the knees a little bit, bring the knees in towards the chest. Roll the shoulders back and down. And then just draw the hips down towards the ankles. As you bring the hips down towards the ankles, we'll come back down onto the back. And as you come back down onto your back, we'll move right into our bridge pose. So make sure that you have the hips and the knees lined up. And remember, in bridge pose, if you do have any back injuries, you can always use a roll or use a block underneath your sacrum to support your sacrum in this posture, and you can make the last part restorative. Otherwise, you would line up the heels closely to your sits bones, or the bones at the end of your thigh bones, and then place your palms down to the side. With your palms down to the side, we'll do one variation of bridge pose where we inhale and lift the hips and lift the arms at the same time, and then let the arms drop back and down. Draw your knees forward. On the exhale, try to come back down evenly so that you're bringing your upper spine down as the hands come down, and then the lower spine down as the hands meet the hips. You come down to the floor. Let's do that again. Press through your feet and inhale, and start lifting the hands and the hips up at the same time. Reach the arms right up over your head, and then draw the knees forward, making some more space. On the exhale, as you come back down, remember you're thinking about your spine in this posture. So bringing the upper part of the spine down first, feeling that on the mat, and then the lower part of the spine, meeting the wrists and the hips together and bringing the lower spine Now, if all that felt okay, and you want to move into the next part of the posture, lift your hips up, clasp your hands underneath you, and then rock your right shoulder underneath, and then the left shoulder underneath the chest. Bring your shoulder blades together. Press through your upper arms and your lower arms. Inhale and float your hips up. So as you're floating your hips up, can you imagine your feet pressing into that mat, but drawing your ankles slightly back and drawing the knees forward? Bridge pose. If that all feels comfortable and you want a little more challenge, you can inhale and extend your right leg up, and then bring the right leg down. And then inhale and extend your left leg up, and then bring your left leg down. Everybody's doing their own posture, but right now, can you start to breathe into your throat area and the upper chest, your shoulders? Bring all that oxygen, all that energy into your shoulders. And then release your hands and come back down one vertebra at a time, or one notch at a time. As you come all the way back down now, you can gently draw your knees in towards your chest, to bring the knees into the chest. Just rocking from side to side. You can move right into your happy baby pose by bending your knees and clasping underneath your knees. Separate your knees wider. Or if you can reach comfortably, you can place your hands on the arches of your feet and then just rock from side to side, just like the happy baby you always were and always will be. And then on the exhale, draw the knees together. We'll inhale and extend the right leg down, and then the left leg down, the right arm down, and the left arm down, and prepare your body for Shavasana, or this final posture of integration. While you're lying on the floor, take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, make an audible sound. Close your eyes down. Just stay on the floor and allow your body to melt or sink into the floor. And as your body relaxes down, shift your attention now to the forehead and just relax the forehead, the eyebrows, and the corners of your eyes. Bring your attention to the center of the eyebrows. Drop in a few inches deeper and release all struggle. Now slowly rock your head from side to side. You can inhale and extend the arms up over your head, and as you're reaching your arms up over your head, just notice how long the body is, how strong the body is. On the exhale, you can draw the knees back in towards your chest. Give yourself a good squeeze. Acknowledge yourself for doing your practice one more time. And it's getting better every time. So just roll over towards your right side, and you can come back up into a comfortable seated position. And as you find your comfortable seat, bring your palms to the heart center. Lift the heart up into the palms. And we'll close our practice today with the greeting of Namaste. My internal light respects your internal light. Namaste. Have a great day today and keep practicing.